Hey Lucy, come on in and y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Um, we talking about Little Miss Harris, Princess Harris. That's what I'm gonna call her, Princess Harris. Her parents killed her, and they helped it and the sheriffs and the search party that they got together. Um, they helped them search for her. The dad took interviews. Thank you, Ryan. Hello to you too. Thank you for the respect. Shout out to Ryan. Ryan said hello. I said hello back. And Ryan hello King and crowned me. I appreciate that, Ryan. Hey, you here. You turned up. Happy 4th. Well, happy belated 4th. Because we going into the next day here in Memphis, though. I can still hear fireworks in my neighborhood. What's up, Eric? Eric, if you're trying to donate, I have both of my cash apps listed in the description. Hashtag AccountableThinkers and hashtag BlocstarrAnalysts. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan one more time. Ryan said Blocstarr is king. I appreciate that. But y'all come on in, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're talking about Princess Javeayah Harris, a 4-year-old who parents reported her missing and they killed her. They knew they killed her. You think Tupac would still be here if he didn't bully that dude in the casino? Yep. Keisha here, I do believe Tupac would still be here if he didn't bully that dude in the casino. If he didn't get into that casino brawl that was made public because the casino leaked the videos of the surveillance footage to the media, to the news outlets. Once it got publicized, the guy was more than embarrassed. Him being a California Crip with some kind of pull, all he had to do was spaz out and say he wants something done about it. And them California Crips gonna be right behind this crippin' ass. Sorry, that was off topic. I was just thinking about it. It's okay, Chair. It can be off topic because we don't always stay on topic here. At Blocstarr Analytics, we don't always stay on topic. Because I'm gonna always answer you guys' questions. That's why I love for y'all to communicate in the chats. And here in the chats, not only me, if I don't see your comment, somebody else in the chat might see your comment and they might give you an answer. or they might answer it for you or for me because they know I'm not seeing it at the time. Because I might be talking or I might be trying to search something for y'all. Because I learn from y'all just like y'all learn from me. And sometimes, and it's not usual, but sometimes if I do get something wrong, if I haven't researched all the facts, I allow y'all and I want y'all to call it out and tell me, no, that's not true. And if I see y'all call me out and tell me that that's not true, or I'm wrong, or a piece of the information was wrong, I go look it up right then and correct myself and give y'all props, because it's just me, Blocstarr Imis. It's not just me that's an analyst. This whole chat, everybody in the chat are analysts. Once you join and subscribe to the channel, you become a Blocstarr analyst. So here, we a big family. It's okay if it's off topic. God damn it, whatever you want to ask me, you can ask me. Y'all my family. So whatever anyone wants to ask me, you can ask me, and I'm gonna answer it. If I'm not able to answer it, or I don't see your question, and you see your question stroll up because so many people are commenting, just keep commenting that same question, and I promise when I see it, I'm gonna give you an answer. So shout out to Keisha here. She's a part of the family. Subscribe and like the video. Okay. Hey, Black Anise. Eric, thank you. Eric said I'm cool. Thank you, Eric. Hey, Austin. Thank you, Granny Smith. Granny Smith, shout out to Granny Smith. She said Jesus loves you. Thank you, Granny Smith. I needed that. Happy belated 4th of July, and Jesus loves you too for spreading the word. Hey, London's finest. London's finest said, I'm sure you get this all the time, but you really do look like a nerd. I am a nerd. Yeah, I am a nerd. I love the internet. I love information. I love growing. Hey, Austin, I'm not Kevin Durant. Shout out to Austin. He said, are you Kevin Durant? No, I'm not Kevin Durant, but that's a beautiful comment, because Kevin Durant is one of the greatest basketball players ever. He's one of the greatest big mans in American basketball, the NBA sport. London, I knew it. Yeah, London for sure. Granny Smith, I love you and I appreciate you. I want you, just as long as you here, just keep on commenting about God. Keep God on this channel. Keep God over this channel. Keep God with us in this channel. I appreciate that. I love God. I am a Christian. I do believe that Jesus died for our sins. What's up, Lord Biden? What's London's finest? No, my God did not die. Let me see. How can I explain this? God sent a part of him, a part of his spirit down here, which he called his son, right? because God is the Trinity. He's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And he sent a part of him down here to earth to prove to the people that he was real, right? But he didn't force the people to believe him. He allowed the people to make their own decision about him, right? The piece of him that he sent down here. The piece of him that he sent down here, he made that piece like us. Jesus, his son. The piece of him that he called his son. He made like us. An image which is ultimately his image. And we as a people have always been prideful. So he knew that we would kill that part of him. But he wanted it to happen, and he allowed it to happen because it would go down in history, in our history, and he wanted us to acknowledge and know and see what rebirth was, what killing the flesh and living in the spirit was. So he gave us an example of what killing the flesh is through sacrifice. And he was only here to, I would say, he was only here for us to acknowledge him for who he was. So he walked the earth, right, for about, I believe, 25 to 30 years. He walked the earth for us to see that what we read in that book is really true. He performed miracles to show us that he has all power. And if we believe, we can have all power. But no, he did not die. I would say the flesh model of him, the human model of him died. But he did it for us. Eric, you in Miami? Oh man, I love Miami, Eric. I love it. I'm 35 now. I went there for my 31st birthday. It was the first time I went to Miami, but it was probably the 30th time I had been in Florida. Most of the time that I went to Florida, I was in Fort Myers. Yep, I was in Fort Myers. But I've been to Daytona. I've been to Jacksonville. I'm not sure what part of Florida has the Icon Park with the big Ferris wheel, but I've been there to the big outdoor shopping mall. I rode the Ferris wheel at the Icon Park. I love y'all gas stations, how they made. People got to catch up, right? They got to catch up to y'all California and New York, how y'all got the gas stations front and back. Most cities like Memphis, we have gas stations that's front and back, but on the front it's gas and on the back it's diesel for 18-wheelers. How y'all's are made with the gas and the diesel on the front for cars and 18-wheelers. And then on the back end is straight charging stations for Teslas. How many Tesla owners y'all got out there? It is beautiful, man. I didn't say God died. I said his flesh. I said his flesh. The human. The human flesh that God sent a part of him down here. Right? But we can't see the spirit. The spirit is a spirit. We as humans can't see it. So God put on a suit of flesh and called it his son, Jesus. And he killed the flesh. He allowed us to kill the flesh, not him, not the spirit. I never said God died. I said the human flesh that he was in died. God said he sent his son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins. God said he sent his son, which was a part of him, Jesus, to die on the cross for our sins. Because Jesus was flesh. God's spirit inside of flesh. When God hopped inside of the flesh, like us, skin, Mary named him Jesus, Yahshua. So the flesh, not God. I'm not saying God died. No, Jesus' sacrifice was the flesh, the human flesh. The human flesh that he had, that he possessed. The human flesh is what died. And it was only an example to us humans to not live in the flesh, but live in the spirit. Kill your flesh, repent for your sins, and live in the spirit. Yeah, but no, I never said God died. If I sounded like I said God died, I apologize. I didn't explain it good. Y'all that's coming in, come on in. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. We finna get into this story about 4-year-old Javeayah Harris. I'ma roll me one up. And I'm going to play my favorite song. This is one of my favorite songs by Chris Brown. It's from his 007 album. Chris Brown, 4 years old. And I called it 007 album because he had 007 on the front of it. But it's the album with him in the purple suit with the purple background. One of my favorite songs on there is 4 years old. Javeayah Harris was only 4 years old when her parents took her life and reported her missing. And then once the sheriffs of their county put out a search party and put out the message to the county that she was missing, and they started a search party, her parents was actually out in the woods helping the federal agents and the police search for her, and they knew that they killed her. Her father took an interview, and he was really ranting on the interview, which helped the police and the detectives figure out that her dad had something to do with it. He had to have something to do with it. His story was fucked up, and it was in circles, and he was never saying the same thing, and was he was contradicting everything that he said to the police in the statement to the police on this live interview. And I think it was with Law and Crime or the news station of their city that they're in. But tragic situation, and we're gonna get into it in a minute. I just want everybody to come on in, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. And before we get into it, y'all make sure y'all got y'all drinks. Women, make sure y'all got y'all coolers, y'all wine. It's America's 250th anniversary. Make sure y'all got y'all blunts, y'all cigarettes, y'all cigars. We finna get ready to lay back, relax, and get into this story. But first, because Javeayah Harris, rest in peace to her, Princess Javeayah Harris, Princess Harris, was only 4 years old when her parents took her life and lied about it. I want to play the Chris Brown 4 years old song for her. So that's what we're going to do. Dumb 123. I'm sorry for being a real dumbass.
How to create trendy t-shirt designs for your print-on-demand store. When it comes to creating designs for your t-shirt or
Okay, for sure.
because there are thousands of templates in every
Let's play that shot. I'm finna Rail Porto. Stop talking about my chat analysts. Don't talk about London Finest. That's my people. And London Finest been with me since damn near the beginning. You can't talk about London. I will get you out of my chat. The whole chat will get you out the chat. London is very intelligent. London's finest. Shout out to London Finest for being one of the most intelligent people I have ever met. You can't talk about London. Love you, London. I appreciate you too for always being here with me. Javeayah Harris. Rest in peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We finna get into it, y'all. We finna get into it. I can't believe that Javeayah Harris,
some AI
parents killed her. I can't believe that. And then you help the feds search for her. You help the search party search for her. I'm glad the dumbass dad took the motherfucking interview and really made the cops look more into him and the mother. Or else, if they would have ever even found Javeayah. Once they started investigating the parents and seeing where they cell phones pinged at around the time before they reported Javeayah missing, I don't think they would have ever found out where she was or where her body could have been to even be able to recover her body. My condolences goes out to her family that's not her parents, her grandmoms, her granddad, uncles and aunties that she may have had, cousins. You know, my heart goes out to y'all. We gonna cover this story though, because we want to spread the word and we want the community. We want our community, your community, and we want people to know around the world that this young life only 4 years old, was taken by her parents, and how they connived and misled everyone to believe that she was missing when they know they killed her. And we're gonna go to my brother Carlos King channel, because he's the first person who covered this story. Blocstarr Imis Analytics, we are the second crew, second team that covered this story, and we finna cover it tonight. And after they get finished process video, for 8 to 12 hours, YouTube take the process our live. We'll get this posted sometime by the middle of the day, to where we can rewatch it. Shout out to Mark Mars 2112. He called me Rerun from What's Happening. He said, Rerun from What's Happening. What's up? What's up, my brother? I fuck with you tough. Thank you for bringing a little laughter to the chat, Mark Mars. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video.
I type in, I need a...
That included dozens of FBI personnel who were...
Okay. All right, so let's start. We're finna start this video.
I just went to budgeting app, base 44.
And
it pulls our expenses into one place
here,
and breaks down spending by team.
Hear what my brother Carlos King had to say about it. We're also gonna hear from the chief of police in their in Javeayah City, and how they were starting the investigation to search for her. And then we're going to hear when he came back to the news and held another press conference after the father took that interview on social media, and what they figured out, and how that her parents killed her and them in custody. Okay. Porto said he doesn't speak English. Ray, he doesn't speak English. He was translating your message, London. So every time you send a message, he have to translate it. He have to put it in Google or whatever program he has to translate it to his language. All right, let's get into it. Let's hear what the chief of police had to say in the press conference about Javeayah Harris and her murder.
We have arrested Javeayah's parents. We've arrested her dad, 23-year-old Javeayah Harris, and her mom, 22-year-old Michelle Herring.
And I want y'all to hear this from me. Her dad was 23, mom was 22. Juicy 18929. Shout out to Juicy 18929. Just donated $100. I appreciate that. I'm giving it straight to the kids. They're gonna be able to go to Walmart and get their bubble guns and some outfits and everything on Juicy. So shout out to Juicy. Juicy, to the channel and like the video. You're definitely a part of the family. I appreciate you. God bless you. And your donation does not go unappreciated. It's the first donation that I've ever got. So I appreciate that. If anyone else wants to donate, I appreciate you. Like I said before, you can find both of my cash apps to donate to in the link of the description. One of them is hashtag AccountableThinkers. That's my marketing and clothing company. And the other one is BlocstarrAnalysts, hashtag BlocstarrAnalysts. That's for our stream that we do here. And because we're not monetized yet, so we don't make any money yet. But once we make it, I thought it was 500 subscribers, but YouTube sent me a message saying that I'm almost there. I'm progressing. My progress is speedy and it's very fast. Like I'm progressing fast. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm almost halfway to 1,000 subscribers to be monetized and become a YouTube partner in an email message. So then I knew, because I watch videos on YouTube of how to monetize and the right things to do when it comes to posting videos and stuff like that when you're trying to monetize. And one of the later monetizing videos that how to monetize videos that YouTube really promotes, that person in that video said that you can get 500 subscribers. It's no longer 1,000 subscribers that you have to make it to. You can get 500 subscribers and monetize your channel. But just yesterday, I read an email that I got from YouTube about my progress. And we made it to over 90,000 views in 3 weeks. Over 90,000 views and over 109 videos. Because like I said, we go live every day. You know what I'm saying? We go live every day here on YouTube. And since I found out the highlight feature where I can make multiple highlights instead of just the one highlight that YouTube gives me to be able to post after a live stream while they're processing my video, that's why we got so many views and that's why we got so many videos, because of shorts. Some videos, some lives I may make 9 to 10 streams. Highlights from one video, from one live stream, and I may post all 9 highlights after the stream, which gave us 9 videos. And when the stream get finished processing, it gives us 10 videos. So again, I want to thank Juicy for $100. Shout out to Juicy. She is the sponsor of today's YouTube stream, because like I said, I've never got a donation since I've started, but we started streaming I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we're already at 332 subscribers, probably higher than that now, from the chat subscribing. But I appreciate it, y'all. I appreciate y'all for even being here, even if you can't donate. The donations don't mean life or death to me, right? But when a donation is given, I appreciate it and have to express it wholeheartedly and shout to let everybody know, because that's a good deed. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to give me anything. And when you give me something, you give it to my family, my 2 daughters, my wife, and my baby son, who's 1.5, right? He turned 1 January the 6th. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate my chat analysts, my family, for being here. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get back into this police press conference about Javeayah Harris and her parents killing her and reporting her missing.
Sadly, The night of the 911 call on June the 30th, when that call was made,
Damn.
Javeayah.
Damn. So June 28th, when her parents called, when they called the police and reported her, by this time the police have found her body and they did an autopsy. The coroner did an autopsy and found out that she had been dead longer than 1 month. She had been dead. And they just received June the 28th and that she was reported missing. So when they found her body, from hearing her dad in that interview and going and doing a background, and dad pinging their cell phones and where their cell phones were before they called and reported her missing, the cell phones were way far from the house, right? In an area that the police hadn't even looked at. So they started to search that area. They found her body, didn't let the media or anybody know, and came straight and arrested her parents after the coroner did the autopsy and found out that she had been dead longer than a month. I'm sure they didn't go into detail about her and how she was abused and what caused her death from abuse, like if she was punched or if she was beaten or if she was choked or if she was smothered. They didn't go through those details, but they did give us the details that she was dead. She had been dead for at least a little bit over a month. And if her parents called and reported her missing just June 28th, it's only July the 4th right now. Right? Well, July the 5th. Her parents called and reported her missing just a week ago. And we found her body and she's been dead longer than a month. So that means she's been missing longer than a month. But they say she's been missing just today, June the 28th, last month. They gave them up. The dad should have never took that interview, but I'm glad he did.
At this time, our investigation supports that she had been deceased for at least a month.
All right, what's up with it, y'all? So look, I'm back again with another video right now. Look, I got an update for everybody who's out there wondering what's going on with this whole situation pertaining to the 4 went missing by the name of Javeayah Harris.
Yeah.
Okay, now for those who do know what's going on, that's good for you, but it's a lot of people who don't know, so I'm going to break it down and tell y'all what's going on and where we are today with this whole situation. So basically, I do got to start this off the correct way by saying RIP to the beautiful baby, because they have announced that she did basically losing her life. And what's so crazy about it, she lost
Amen, John Harris,
to the hands of her parents. Now, I want to say RP to her.
Thank you, Big Boy Studios.
The entire family.
Studios, they told me Jesus loves me.
They have been looking for her since
Jesus loves you too, and I appreciate you.
But basically, today they came out and stated
y'all like
that
the
she
video,
had been,
subscribe to the channel.
Dead for
this about baby girl Javeayah Harris, Princess Javeayah Harris, Princess Harris, 4 years old.
And that's just sad and
parents
like
killed
we
her.
always say, man, these children are helpless. They don't know no better, and to have the person that is supposed to be taking care of you, protecting you,
man, I hope
nurturing you and things like that, for them to
that's the only thing I hate about this. I believe she suffered. I believe she suffered. I believe she was abused till she died. That same day, I believe she suffered when she was 9. And that hurts me. That's why we got to cover this story. And I got to let y'all know. I got to let my chat analysts know about this 4-year-old girl whose parents lied to the police and reported her missing June the 28th. Her dad took an interview with a social media outlet, and he was stuttering and he was going back and forth, and his story didn't match up with what he told the detectives. And they started to look into her parents ping their cell phones was in a place that was outside of their county. They was in another county right before they came back to the county an hour later and reported her missing. Fucking 3 or 4 weeks later after she was actually missing. You know what I'm saying? And the police dug into her parents, pinged their cell phones, found out, hey, they've been out of town a couple of counties over at the beginning of this month. Let's see where they've been. Boom, they find out the area that the parents was in. It was a wooded area. A wooded area, like a forest park, like one of those forest parks with a lot of trees and trails, right? And they found the little girl's body. And when the coroner did autopsy, he found out that little girl had been dead over a month. So when they called and reported her missing just last month on June the 28th, something not matching up. How she missing on June the 28th, but she been dead for over a month? Y'all was supposed to call, goddammit, when she first died. But I'm glad you didn't. Because you're going to deserve the life sentence that they finna give your ass. If they finna give you a life sentence, they need to put both of y'all ass to death. Yeah, both of her parents need to die. I don't care about them being young. 23 was her dad. 22 was her mom. I don't care about them being that young. They made the decision to bring that baby into the world. She didn't deserve that. Y'all look at the thumbnail of this video. That little girl was beautiful. Any picture you see of her on the internet before she died, she was smiling. She barely knew how to hold her fingers up to throw a functional peace sign, but in every one of her pictures she was smiling. And she, you know how kids do, they be trying to get, babies do, they try to get their fingers. She throwing up peace signs like this and smiling. I'm talking about beautiful, an angel. And her parents killed her from abuse, from child abuse, which means they were either beating on her or they were either neglecting her. From clothes and stuff, look, and her face and stuff in pictures, she doesn't look like she was being neglected, but she may have been abused, right? Because her clothes are clean. She got nice little matching outfits. Her hair is always done in every picture. You know what I'm saying? But babies make mistakes. Kids make mistakes. When they're babies, when they're toddlers, we don't really whoop our kids when they do things wrong, when they're babies and they're toddlers. We may tap them on the hand and say, no, that's bad. And they'll cry. But they're not crying because us tapping them on the hand softly hurt it. They're crying because we said, no, that's bad. And they know that they've upset their parents or done something wrong. They know that it was incorrect. Black Anise, don't cry. Don't cry, baby. I feel like crying right now. We're going to talk about this, though. It needs to be put out there. You know what I'm saying? And we here. We here. We in the chat. We support you. We got your back. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me rephrase. Let me not say don't cry. Cry if you want to. Because I'm hurt too. I mean, this little girl looked like she couldn't do no wrong. But we know all babies do wrong because they get into things, right? Just the other day, my son, no, today, my son, when I was in the kitchen making a cake for the 4th of July for his big sisters, my daughters, 12 and 11, Cherish and Faith Mitchell, he opened the cabinet under the sink. It's a double cabinet. He opened one. I said, no. He opened the other one. I grabbed his hand and I said, no, son, that's bad. And I closed the cabinets. He didn't even cry because I said, no, son, that's bad. He cried because I closed the cabinets. And he knew that he couldn't play with them because Dad had his hand. And I picked them up and I held them and I said, it's okay, Daddy, baby. It's okay. You're not in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Because he's starting to, even though he's 1.5, he's starting to understand things. How I know he's starting to understand things? Because I say, nose. He say, he be trying to feel for his nose. He be touching his face, and then he go to his nose and he say, nose. I say, ears. He say, ears. I say, chin. He touches his mouth and say, chin. I touch my mouth and say, mouth. He touches his mouth again and say, mouth. That's how I know he understands. And this is at 1.5 years old. Yeah. And watch this. Babies do understand once they hear us enough. Right? But they're not old enough. They're definitely not mature enough to analyze, to comprehend. So they understands, but the baby is not comprehending. I said, no, watch this. Maybe tomorrow or another day when me and him is in the kitchen together and I look off or he see me not looking at him, he's going to open the cabinet again. Because he understood when I said no, but he's not comprehending that you're a baby and you can't go in that cabinet because there's chemicals down there. There's bleach, there's Ajax. All of that stuff just look colorful to him. He just want to play with it and pick it up or see can he pick it up. But he's a baby. You know what I'm saying? Channel. Let's get back into it and hear what Carlos had to say.
Your life is crazy to me. Now, the father, with his lame, weird ass, he basically said that, you know, he left to go to the store, and when he was on the way back, the police were standing out so that the street blocked off and things like that, but he didn't think that it was house. Come to find out, according to him, you know, he thought once he realized it was them at his
Thank
house,
you, Black Anise.
Baby mama had
I
just
appreciate it.
Or something like that. But
shout out Black Anise. She said I'm a good parent.
Told her to call, and that's how things went the way that they went. Now I do have a phone call interview that he did with someone, and I'm gonna let y'all listen to that right now, and then I'm gonna let y'all see a lot of other things as well too, and all of the facts. But this is what he had to say in this phone interview with his lame weird ass. This is it right here.
Get an AI agent on our team? Well, it's easy. Watch how I do it in 60 seconds.
I had the chance.
Okay, so this is the phone interview from the dad, which led the police and the federal agents that was there because the FBI came to help out them find this missing child, right? Because she's so young. When they're a toddler, when they're a baby, everybody's going to hop on it just like that. When they're a little bit older and they can understand and comprehend, law enforcement usually question it a couple of times before they really just hop on it. If their child's been missing a couple of days, they always looking into situations with preteens, kids that's in adolescence, they saying, have they ever done it before? Have they ever ran away? Have they ever went missing before? Even if the parents say no, they still look at it like this could be the first time they tried this. right? But when it's a baby don't go missing like that. Babies don't run away from home or wander off from the house. That's not what babies do. So if you're a parent and your child has went missing, most likely it's because you let them play out in the front yard instead of the backyard, and somebody pulled up and snatched your kid or something like that, kidnapped your kid. Those type of situations. But the parents saying that she's missing, and no, she's never wandered off, she's never been like that, and then you take an interview and you like, I seen the police at my house, and I was just like, see, when the police heard that, they like, okay, we at your house because your baby mom called us and reported your daughter missing. This same day that you're walking from the store, you take this interview saying that you're walking from the store and you see a big police presence. How is it possible for you to leave the house and not know that your daughter's missing? Your wife, you just going to walk to the store, right? And your wife calls the police and says that your daughter is missing, and then you come back and you're telling in an interview a big police presence, and you're like, are they near my house? I need to go down there and see what's going on, because something bad has to be happening. For you to take an interview and say that, the police and the detectives sit back and listen, and they say, now, if his wife knew that if his baby mama knew that their child was missing, yeah, she gonna call us, but he just walked to the store. She's gonna call him first and say, babe, you got our daughter with you? No, I don't. Do you got Javeayah with you? No, I don't. She's missing. Now, you wouldn't have just been walking back from the store and seen the big police presence and everything new to you. You would have been running back from the store because your wife, your baby mama, told you before she called the police to let you know that our child is missing and she don't know where she could be. So when the police and the feds, detectives heard that, you say that in the interview, you gave both of y'all up right then and there. The stories and the timelines don't match when you say something like that. Oh, you coming back from the store and you seeing a big police presence and your daughter been missing and you don't know that she's been missing, so your baby mama didn't call you first. Let's check your phone records. Find out that you told her to call the police, and you walked to the store after you told her because you didn't want to have presence there when they first made it. And they just like, how you don't already know? How we know before you know? It's not possible. That's what's up. I watch a lot of true crime too. We gonna start reacting to true crime videos once we get probably about 750, 1,000, close to 1,000 subscribers, or at 1,000 subscribers. Then we're monetized. I'm gonna start reacting to true crime videos where we'll play the video, so y'all will be able to tell me videos y'all done seen on true crime in the chat and say, hey, I seen the video on true crime. It was about a guy named such and such. Can you do that one? Can we do a reaction to that one tomorrow night when you go live? And we gonna do that. I love true crime. It really does mentally prepared what goes on around us that we don't even see or hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, true crime is one of those stations, one of those media outlets that put out stories, but they put out the stories with all the facts. People are mentally unstable. You already know it. It's plenty of it on YouTube. I follow their channel. I follow True Crime channel and I follow Law and Crime channel. Uh, and I think both of them are owned by the same company because they have the same looking logo with the same font and lettering. True Crime and the Law and Crime channels. But I follow both of them. Thank you, Anita. I figured they was the same.
To talk with the father yesterday, and it was an interesting conversation. I talked to him over the phone, and it was an initial interview that I had with him, and
Thank
he
you
told
for the
me a little
love.
bit about what happened, what the search was like, what he knows, and I'll give you a rundown, and then we'll actually play the call as well, so you can hear it for yourself to give yourself some context. Now, he told me that he went out to run a few errands, went to go get candy for Javeayah. She said she wanted some. He went to a few other.
See, he said too much in the interview. He's a. He said he went out to get candy. He went to the store and he went out to get candy and shit for Javeayah. Right? So that gives the police, once he's stuttering and shit in it, like the interviewer is telling the news channel, WR, right, that he interviewed the dad and the dad said that he went to the store and he was getting candy and shit for Javeayah, right? And then when he's coming back to the house, he see a big police presence and he don't find out till he get down to the house because he's like, he see it and it looks like it's close to their house. So he continues down the street. He never said he started running. He said, but he went on ahead and he knew he had to go and get home, right? If you see a big police presence and it look like they near your house, you're going to start running your ass down that street. But because you didn't run, it shows the detectives, it shows the police, and especially the FBI, the best of the best. It shows them that you wasn't in a hurry, even though you did see the police presence. And anybody that's got kids that see a big police presence and look like it's damn near right up on their house, when they hit the corner walking from the store, they're going to run. They're going to instantly think it's about their kids. Watch this. Javeayah was supposedly outside when she went missing, right? Which means, Dad, you would have had to walk past her, even though you didn't. You told your baby mama to call the police and report her missing a month after y'all had killed y'all daughter, right? You see that police presence, you're gonna rush to the house whether you know what's going on or not, because you know you had a little girl in the front yard playing before you left and went to the store, supposed to get her candy. That's what you're gonna do. But now we, just from listening to the interviewer taking an interview before he plays the interview with you, telling the news anchor that you went to the store he said he went to the store to get candy and stuff for Javeayah. You come back on the street, you think the police, you say this in the interview, you come back on the street, you see the big police presence, you think it looks close or near to your house, so you go ahead and get down there. You didn't say you ran. When your daughter was supposedly, the lie that y'all told was your daughter was playing outside. She was outside. But you never said when you went to the store and you stepped outside, I hugged Javeayah and gave her a kiss and said, Dad'll be right back. So they like, it's too much of the story that's not there. It's too much of the story that's missing. He hasn't said anything about Javeayah being in the yard when he left. Right, but he said that he went to the store to get her candy and stuff. So it's like, it's holes in your story. It's holes in your statement. If there's holes in your statement, the police is going to dig deeper into the story whenever there's holes in your statements. If the on the case, they really gonna dig if it's holes in your story. So that's what it was. It was too many holes in the father's stories. Listen.
Doors ended up at a laundromat, and that's when he saw a large law enforcement presence. And at the time, his girlfriend was pregnant, so maybe he thought that she was going into labor. That's what he told me. That's his narration of what happened. He raced home, and that's when he saw a large law enforcement presence at his home, drones in the air. Investigator.
Okay, so he did race home. He said he raced home. But he said, this is what the police looking at. When they started a reinvestigation and they opened it up on her parents. When he said he saw a large police presence, looked like it was near his house. And he knew his wife was pregnant, so he said she's probably having a baby. It's not going to be a large fucking police presence at your house if your wife is having the baby. It's going to be a large fire department presence. And by large, with fire departments, I mean 2 or 3 fire trucks. It's going to be an ambulance there. And it may be 1 or 2 police cars. But you can't tell the police, which you told this interviewer, that you come on the street and you see a large presence of police cars and you knew your wife was pregnant, so you said she's probably having the baby, so you rush down to the house. The police look at it and say, you seen the large police presence, so you thought your wife was having the baby. No, nigga. Ain't no person, let alone ain't no black person, ever saw a large presence of police cars and thought it was for something like pregnancy. The only time only large presence you're gonna see if your wife was pregnant and was finna have the baby or went into labor is a large presence of fire department. You're gonna see 2 or 3 fire trucks, and you're gonna see a paramedics, and you may see 1 or 2, 3 at the max, but 1 or 2 fucking police cars, uniformed police cars on the scene, because she's going into labor and she has to have the baby right then and there in the house. So the fire department is gonna bring everybody, because everybody, mostly all firemen are fucking paramedics too. Like they can be a paramedic or a fireman, right? That's why fire departments have ambulance and they have paramedics. And their paramedics are called firefighters because they work for a fire department. Some paramedics work straight for the hospital and they drive the hospital ambulance. But hospitals only have so many ambulances. They usually have 2 or 3. 1 or 2 big ambulance, and then maybe 1 smaller van looking ambulance, the older model looking ambulance with the hatch over the top with the lights around it. But if a police heard you say, I saw a large police presence and I knew my girl was pregnant, so I rushed down because I thought she was probably having the baby, they're gonna be like, oh, you lying. You lying and you're trying to cover up your story, or whatever lie you're trying to cover up, whatever lie you done told, because ain't nobody ever seen a large presence of police and their wife was pregnant and said, oh, they down there for my wife. Why would the police, they not paramedics. The police don't go to school for paramedic and nurse and doctor type shit, CPR, and have to learn CPR and all of that type of shit. Firefighters do, though. They have to learn that in school, because when they get hired to firefight, they may not have to firefight. They may get hired to be a firefighter and have to take the paramedic role and drive the ambulance. That shit is crazy that you would say that in an interview. So that's why they looked into you and the mother and found y'all guilty for murder. How you doing, Biff? You like the video and subscribe to the channel.
He wasn't allowed to go in the house or check anything. He had no idea what was going on. He tells us that his girlfriend actually couldn't contact him because she didn't have cell service, though she was the one who did call 911.
And he said in an interview that his girlfriend could contact him because she had no cell phone service. But she was the one who did 911 through a cell phone device, through a mobile device, not a landline. The police, the detectives, they can track what kind of device the 911 call came in on. Right, they can see if it was a landline, meaning if it was a house phone plugged into the wall in the house, or if it was a cellular device that pings off a cell tower and not like a landline that operates off underground cables, underground wiring. So that a landline signal is stronger than a cell phone that's pinging off towers to communicate. But that's a lie you told. In the interview, you was talking too much, my guy. Killed your baby girl and you deserve life. You and her mother really deserve the death penalty. Y'all don't deserve to live to be able to take a 4-year-old's life, as beautiful as y'all thought it was, and then throw a body in the ditch, and a month later call the police and report her missing. Y'all some devils.
911 for help. According to an incident report from the sheriff's office, they tell us that Javeayah was last seen in the front yard playing with chickens at their chicken coop. The sheriff telling us that she just wandered off. That's what they think, and that's what they know right now, is that they believe that she has wandered off and that there was no abduction. There's been a lot of talk about that Amber Alert. That's part of the criteria for issuing one of those. So
if a kid go missing, I'm gonna tell every police department, every sheriff, every FBI agent right now, if a kid goes missing and they are under the age of 5 years old, they did not fucking wander off. Yeah, babies are fucking curious. Right? Babies are fucking curious. But another thing that babies are really more of than curious is scared. Everything is way fucking bigger than them. If they do walk away or walk off from the house, they're not gonna walk too fucking far, and their legs are very little. So how far can a baby wander before a parent notices and call the police, and the police not be able to pull up to their neighborhood, and before they come around the corner see this baby somewhere? Right? What neighbor is going to see a 4-year-old baby walking down the street and not come out and say, hey, where's your parents? And grab her and call 911. That shit ain't possible. But I believe I believe detectives and the police and the chief was just saying that just to throw the media off and throw her parents off, because they were already looking into them after that interview.
The father again telling
Y'all
me
like the video,
that
subscribe
it's
to the
been
channel.
emotional for them. It's been very hard not knowing what happens. He says that you see this in movies, you see this on TV, but you don't expect it to happen in your own community or your own family. And
he was lying.
He said that Javeayah was not one to run away or has not done that in the past. She was extremely friendly. There were initial reports that she was a child with autism. We learned out that that's true, but she may be on the spectrum. She was not nonverbal. She's very communicative and can talk. So that has changed since the very beginning. So I know that there is a lot of conversation happening around that initial interview and conversation that I had with the father. There was supposed to be a follow-up interview where we could ask more questions and get more information from him, but that did not happen. So we're stuck with what we have right now from the family, but it does give us some insight. We're going to play that call for you so you can listen for yourself and draw your own conclusions, and you can hear for yourself what he had to say.
Okay, I got up around five-ish, and my daughter was outside playing, my girl was out there watching her. She was in and out of the house, I say that. And I was going.
His daughter was playing. He got up around 5-ish. His daughter was outside playing. He got up around 5 in the evening, which means he don't work a job. They most likely live off government assistance, which we pay for. Us taxpayers, we pay for this. Yeah, we pay for this. They living off government assistance. He got up around 5 p.m. and got up and got ready to go to the store, and his wife was and his daughter was outside. His girl was outside with his daughter, with their daughter. She was watching her. My girl was watching her. Javeayah was playing. That's what he said. But he was lying.
You have to wash the clothes.
Discover the American University of Antigua.
This shit's serious.
Yeah, what else can I say? I left the house.
This nigga said, I got up around 5. My girl was outside, her and Javeayah. She was watching Javeayah playing. I had to wash some clothes. What else can I say? That's how he just said it. He said, I had to wash some clothes. What else can I say? Nigga, did you had to wash some clothes? Did you wash the clothes? Did you wash them? What else I have to say? You pant. Which means you making up the story as you go. You made up the story with the detectives. And now you're trying to tell the same story, but you're panting. We can tell that you're making up the story as you go. The man said, I woke up around 5. That's 5 p.m. Not 5 in the morning, 5 p.m. This nigga woke up, which means he don't work a job. He don't work a 9 to 5. He wake up at 5. Right? She's outside with Javeayah, supposedly. Right? She's outside with Javeayah, and Javeayah is playing. She's watching Javeayah. I woke up at 5 in the morning. I woke up at 5. I came outside. I went outside. I seen my girl. She was watching Javeayah while she was playing. I had to wash some clothes. What else can I say? Nigga, the beginning of your story got me to where I'm like, nigga, let me look into you. Let me look into you. See what you about. Cause this shit is, no, you hiding something. You stupid as fuck. You waking up at 5, so you on some type of drug. You on some type of antidepressants, so you pop pills. Those antidepressants make people angry. when they ain't got them. They'll hurt anybody because they ain't got them antidepressants, the fentanyls and them perks, the shit that put them to sleep and make them wake up at 5, sleep the whole day and wake up at 5 p.m. while lying to the Social Security office and human service offices to get food stamps and disability checks, which taxpayers, we hard-working Americans, pay for. Okay, let's hear the nigga.
Around, six, like late six, maybe like early seven. He was probably around like 6, and I got back to the house maybe around 7:15 because my girl and my daughter said they wanted some candy, like she wanted some sugars and she wanted some cookies, and I had went to like three stores maybe in between those times.
Tell me how many times he done said It's not about saying though, because people say when they're trying to find out what they're trying to say, right? Or when they're out what they're trying to say or what they're gonna say when they're trying to figure it out, right? I say sometimes when I'm trying to think of a thing that I'm mentioning or a situation that I'm mentioning, I'm trying to think of the person, I'll be like, what the fuck is his name? Or what the fuck is her name? But he says every time he says something. I was finna go get them some candy, like get them some candy. So when I went to get them some candy, when you talk like that, especially when a detective is questioning you or a detective is listening, they know that you're not being honest. They know that you're not telling the truth, or they know that you're telling part of the truth and you're leaving something out. So they're going to dig deeper. But I'm glad he took this interview because him and his girl is guilty of murder in the first degree to their 4-year-old daughter, a baby, a toddler. They guilty for it, and this is what gave them up. The police and the detectives wasn't looking at them. Like I told y'all before in the beginning, the police and the sheriffs, the chief of the sheriff's department put out a search party, and the FBI joined in, right? And different towns around them and counties around them sent their sheriffs and police, if they had them, to help with the search party, right? And they searched through fields in the woods because it's a wooded area, big wooded area around there, like they say in the country, right? These two fucking parents came with the sheriff's department and the search party and actually walked through the woods and the fields and shit like they searching for their daughter, knowing that they had killed her, knowing she'd been dead for over a month. She'd been dead for over a month. They ditched her body, threw her body in a ditch, threw her body out in some woods. They didn't even bury their daughter. They didn't even confess so she could be buried properly. Now she's going to receive the proper burial after this investigation gets completed, so they can add more charges to these parents, before they be able to set shit for trial or all of that. Now she's going to receive a proper burial from her family, her grandparents, her aunties and uncles and cousins, if she had, if she had them, or whatever type of other family members she had, right? And it's on both sides. Parents and brothers and sisters which is her grandparents and aunties and uncles, and the mother's parents. She had 2 sets of grandparents. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get to bury her properly now, but who knows what conditions her body. We don't know what conditions her body was found in. We don't know if she was found in water, her body swelled up, if her body decomposed, or if wildlife ate off her body. We don't know. So, it's like we don't know if they have to have open casket, or if they can have an open casket, or if they have to close it. You know what I'm saying? And that baby didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve it. Let's get back into it.
The gas, Black Miles, and I haven't got some drinks, like some little Mad Dogs and stuff like that. And when I left and I went back to dry clothes because I was watching. I was sitting there for a little minute, and I ended up going to another store. Like these 3 stores that I'm saying, like I saw the 3 stores already, but I went to a store last,
Gotcha.
and I was back at the washing machine that was right beside the Circle K. And then when I was at the Circle K, I was seeing a lot of police and stuff going through, and I was wondering. I was like, a lot of stuff goes on in Aiken to where like you could out as police or whatever, but I didn't know that it was my house. My girlfriend. At the time, she didn't have service. She didn't have service on her phone.
You heard the interviewer. Somebody must have been in the back, standing behind the interviewer or in the room, and they was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And the interviewer said, "This is the dad." He told somebody that was in the room with him, "This is the dad." It could have been the FBI. The sheriff's department, or it could have just been some co-workers that's like, this nigga sounds stupid, like that motherfucker sounds stupid. Who the fuck is that, and why are you listening? This is the dad. Oh, they already know what case he working on. You know what I'm saying? What story he has to cover. You know what I'm saying? So they like, oh, if he's saying this is the dad, that's about Javeayah Harris. That's what story he's covering right now. You know what I'm saying? So they knew. But it just shows you, like, I'm not the only person that think that, and you probably think that too. This nigga is stupid. This Memphis, Tennessee, CJ. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel.
She couldn't call me, but then going on, so she just ended up calling 911. So when I came back to the house, before I got on my road, I seen a police truck with a drone out, and then that's when I started speeding, because I was like, it's something going down like close to my house. When I got turned on my road, I seen a whole bunch of police like right at my house. Right, that's when I hurried up and I got to the house, and I was like, what's going on? I thought my girlfriend was in labor because she was supposed to have a baby. You know what I'm saying? Stone. So she ended up having a child that same night on July 1st. But she came up crying to me saying like, Javeayah missing. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I kind of freaked out, and the detectives were telling me I couldn't go look and stuff like that because they didn't want me to mess up the area or whatever. But that's basically what happened up until I'm about.
Okay,
if my daughter goes, I'm gonna fucking cry. If I make it back to the house, yeah, my wife is crying and she come up to me and she say cherish, or she say faith, or even my son, because he's only 1.5. She say, Halo, it's missing. I'm gonna start crying. I'm gonna be fucking raged. I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? How is Halo missing? No, I'm gonna be crying. I'm gonna be raged. I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna be scared. Where the fuck is my son? He's only 1.5. He can't take care of himself, so that means somebody had to snatch him. When I'm talking about it, I'm gonna be very fucking emotional. And the detectives is listening to this video, listening to this man taking this phone interview with law and crime and about his daughter being missing, and he's recalling the story, and he don't get emotional not once. He don't cry not once. He say he make it down there and he find out from his girl. She said, Javeayah is missing. She's crying. He don't even bust out crying then. Or say that he was crying. Or say that he bust out crying. I'm so worried. Javeayah's missing. What Javeayah? He don't even react. He don't even react when he heard that his daughter is missing. And when the detectives hear something like that, nigga, you didn't react. You don't even tell us you recalling, you reacting. You just tell us your girl was crying or was missing. Nigga, we finna look into you because you had to have something to do with this. Come to find out, it was you and your girl. So she was lying and crying.
Is she known to run away? Like, has there been past issues with that, with her? Is she known to do that?
No, she does not run away, but I will say that she is friendly. Like, she's friendly, like, she doesn't, like, it's not a stranger danger thing with her. It's not like oh, get away from me. Like, she didn't get that. She didn't understand it. She was just all friendly to everybody. She was very respectful. Like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Like, that's what she do. We raised her great. Like, she was a real smart kid. That's why, like, they had me kind of, like, messed up. But they were saying that she was not, like, non-verbal and that. Like, yeah, she was, they said she's autistic and,
y'all come on in and like the video, subscribe to the channel. Rest in peace, Javeayah Harris.
They don't even have a good description of my child. They're trying to describe her.
What's a good, is she autistic or is she on the spectrum at all? Is that true?
She was on the spectrum when she was born, but she said that she couldn't be tested until she was 4 years old.
Okay, so it's on, you guys just don't know.
Exactly,
Gotcha.
exactly. We never got her tested, and she's never given signs that she is, autistic. She talks good. She's like very, she's talking better than me. But she got more respect than me.
Understood. So you guys had no idea what could have happened to her?
I have no clue. Sir, I don't.
Hey, would you like your very?
He don't even sound fucking convincing. He's trying to justify or defend himself. Sir, like, I don't have no, you sound like you being questioned by a detective and you're guilty. Because I would have been crying like, I don't know where my baby is. I would have been distraught. Like, what the fuck do you mean, do I know where my daughter is? What the fuck do you mean we don't have no fucking clue? No, I'm gonna be crying, I'm gonna be hurt. This nigga, no, sir, like, I don't know where, I have no clue, sir. What, nigga? Man, this nigga.
Shopify store, we're literally completely free, by the way. We are live streaming right now. If you click the link,
I don't want no Shopify store, bro.
I don't like. It's really wild, but I gave all of these particulars information about people. It's like since I started work, like from Friday, Thursday, really.
Nigga, you don't work.
Monday, I had to work.
Watch this. The detectives just caught him in a lie. Nigga, you don't work. You woke up at 5, nigga, and walked to the store for beers and some candy. To this interview and they writing that shit down. You woke up at 5 p.m. Your girl was outside watching Javeayah Harris. They look, they see that you received disability. You don't work a job. Social Security ain't clocked you working a job, nigga, in the last 5-10 years, nigga. What the fuck are you talking about? You killed your daughter. And from what you just said, the detectives know now that you killed your daughter. Talking about now you said that you been working since you started working a job. Nigga, you don't work a job. When they check your motherfucking social security number to see if you work a job, nigga, the job is gonna pop up. A job history is gonna pop up if you actually worked a job, nigga. They like, why would he say that if he never worked a job? He's lying. Let's see what they did that day. Okay, they really did that. Well, we need to go further back on the timeline and see when the fuck they left the area, when they left the house. We need to see what their daily routine was. Hold on. A month before they went out to this area. What area is this? This is just a wooded area. This ain't no place people go. We gotta search that area. Put the dogs out there. If it's water, put the dive team out there. Like, nigga, you snitching off on yourself, and I'm glad you did it.
I was working night shifts, and every time I left, my girl would like, when she would tell me like, oh, it's been people doing this, and then the third round.
You was working night shifts. You just woke up at 5 p.m., went to the store for candy and beer, nigga. You finna get back to the house, drink the Mad Dogs and that beer, nigga, and you finna go sleep and wake up at 5 the next day. Damn, this nigga lying.
I didn't even call, like they be on the roundhouse, like just talking and walking real slow and things like that. And
that don't make no sense.
But
how are you doing through all this?
That don't make no sense.
It's okay.
I didn't got a little bit of it out, but it's like not knowing is killing me. It's killing me, like.
But you know.
Because like, I mean, you see something like this wrong thing, but you don't expect it to be.
And is the mother, is she your wife?
No, she's not my wife. She was my girlfriend.
Okay. How is she doing?
She's still a little tore up, but she's making it. She's trying to stay calm, but we just, like I said, we just recently had a child. She had to like really go in labor early because all the stress that was going down. She had that baby the same night that all of this happened.
Okay, now that y'all heard what he had to say, you know, it's semi-believable if you don't know the extent of everything, you know, because kids do leave, kids do certain things. But with the parents being arrested for murder, it lets you know a lot. So
it ain't semi-believable though. Shout out to Carlos King. It may be semi-believable to him that the dude's story just went in the interview. He had plenty of holes in his story. And see, that's what's crazy about entertainment and the internet nowadays, and with streaming, like what we're doing right now, and how we're breaking down and analyzing this story. If I would have got this interview before the feds and the police found out that the parents killed 4-year-old Javeayah Harris, they're her own parents. Father 23, mother 22. I don't know their names, and I don't want to know their names. We'll find out their names later on, because I'm going to keep covering it. I want to see their trial. I want y'all to see their trial, and we want to see justice for Javeayah in this case. We want them to get either life without the chance of parole or the death penalty. They connived. They act like they were in the search for her when they were searching with the police and everything in the search party through the woods of their community. And they deceived. Both together in the midst of this big ass group of people that's searching for their daughter, that are gonna find her because she's not over here. We dished her body out 2 fucking counties away. They didn't respect her. Right? Like, kids are supposed to respect their parents, but parents are supposed to have some respect for their kids, that their kids are their heirs. Their kids are their breed, are a breed of them, are a version of them, a smaller version of them. They're supposed to respect that. And that's where love that parents have for their kids, like I have for mine and my wife have for our 2 daughters and our baby son. Cherish my oldest daughter, Faith, her younger sister, Halo, my baby son, the youngest of all of them, right? That's the respect I have for them. That's the respect their mother have for them, that they're our heirs. They're a breed of us, a smaller version of us. That's why we love them so hard. That's why you love your babies so hard, your kids, whether they're teenagers, adults, toddlers, or babies, they're your babies. You have a respect for them because they're a version of you. They're just smaller. When I was younger, I couldn't figure out how my grandmother knew when I did something wrong. My grandmother knew when I did something wrong because when she was little and she used to do something wrong, the same way her face looked, it's the same way my face looked when I was young. Something wrong. So she knew every time I did something wrong, because when I was around her, I felt the tension. I felt wrong because I hadn't told her that I did it. It's like I got away with something and it's me because I'm sitting right there next to my parent, my guardian, my mom. My grandma was my mom. You know what I'm saying? She passed in 2016. That's the first thing that ever like seriously hurt me. Like, I cried when I found out. I cried, but I screamed, I yelled when I cried. My cousin, my big cousin, he the info over the phone. He was like, bro, grandma gone. No, my grandma had spent just a day. She had a stroke. She had some Fabuloso on the stove and it started to burn. I believe she fell asleep on the couch. And when it started to burn and smoke, the Fabuloso started to burn and smoke, she went to go turn it off. And the smoke from the Fabuloso knocked her out, made her pass out, and she hit her head on the floor. She fell back, hit her head on the floor. She had a stroke. because her tongue came out of her mouth. And she was in the hospital for 1 or 2 days. And she was on life support. Her tongue was out her mouth. And I came to see her. I was working at a record pressing company, and I used to make this, I used to do this thing where I make what I call a vinyl rose. I take the shavings off of the record from the machine while they still hot, and I twist it around at the top, and I twist the bottom and hold it near a fan till it freezes, and it's in the shape of a rose. Right, so I did it with all different color records, and I bought a bouquet. I bought her a bouquet of them in a glass vase that I bought from Walmart, and I bought her a card, and that was the first bouquet of roses or flowers that she had received. Right, she had one card from my auntie, her daughter, on the table. And I bought her a card and a bouquet of vinyl roses. And then it was like my uncles, her other kids, started bringing her flowers and shit. Y'all should have been bought her flowers. But like I said, my grandma, she was my mother. My mother killed my big sisters and big brother's dad. And she had to do years manslaughter because they was in a relationship, and she was in love with him, and he was in love with her, and they had 2 kids together, and he was living with us on and off. She received manslaughter, but she had to do the max, and the judge made it consecutive, so she had to serve all 15 years. When she got out of jail, I was like 17, damn near grown. You know, I went to see her. I forgave her for not be there because she made the wrong decision in life, because we human, we make mistakes, right? And sometimes those mistakes cost us our life or our freedom. But my grandma raised me, and she taught me about God, and she taught me how to forgive, and that's what brought me to forgive my mother, you know, for not being able to be there. And I love her to death. I still love her, you know what I'm saying? And I want to be there for her, but I can't. I got a family to be there for, right? And if I make it in life, and if I make it successful, especially with my chat analyst, I'll be able to be there for her financially to make sure she okay, you know. But I want to pay back the adults in my life that is far, which was my grandma. You know, she's no longer here, right? So, you know, I can't do it for her, but I can do it in her name. You know what I'm saying? Because I know she in heaven smiling on me, knowing I'm working hard to make it there and make it successful, to be the man that my family can always depend on. I'm talking about my wife and my kids right now when I say family. You know what I'm saying? But my auntie and her husband, my uncle, which makes him my uncle-in-law, but he's my uncle. My auntie was also my mother, along with my grandmother, her mother, right? She helped my grandmother raise me and my 4 brothers and sisters, with my mom not being there, and her husband, my uncle Big Gerald. We call him Big Gerald because my big cousin is Little Gerald, his son. That's Little Gerald. You know what I'm saying? But they both big. Yeah. Football, NFL player size. You know what I'm saying? But my uncle, he was like my dad for real. And every time I was around him, you know what I'm saying? And my big cousin, like, he treated me like I was his son too. And my big cousin treated me like I was his brother, you know. And sorry, y'all, I'm getting emotional, but I want to be able to be there for my uncle, my auntie, my cousin, my big cousin, Lil Gerald. I want to be able to be there for them because the life that I give my family now, like being able to live in the suburbs and my daughters have a better education. My wife has the life of a housewife and she doesn't have to work a job and they can depend on me because I'm gonna work my ass off on my 9 to 5 job. I'm gonna work my ass off and they gonna give me as much overtime as I want, making $20 an hour, and that's gonna keep us above. You know what I'm saying? But I want more. I want more for my family. So that's why I go live every night. That's why I do this with y'all every night, because I want to monetize my YouTube. I want to become a YouTube partner. And I want to be able to buy my auntie and my uncle Big Girl. I want to be able to buy their house for them. The house that they live in, that big ass mansion with that big ass lease every monthly lease. I want to be able to buy that for them and say I appreciate y'all for taking care of me and my brothers and sisters. And I know it was hard because y'all already had a family to take care of. You know, you had my big cousin, Lil Gerald. You had my little cousin, Aisha, Tatiana Jackson. You had these 2 kids and you still took care of me, my big brother, my big sister, and my little sister. From me and my little sisters. My little sister was 2 years old and I was 3 years old when my mama went to jail. My big sister and big brother was around 7 or 8 years old. My big sister was around 11 or 12 years old. They raised us till we was adults. My auntie and my uncle, they always were successful. Both of them worked for UPS. They was always right. My uncle, he's the best driver UPS ever fucking had. And they always took their finances and showed us the better life. Summers, we get to go out to Cordova, Countrywood neighborhood where me and my family stay at now. We get to go out to Cordova, come out here and see big ass houses. And my auntie and uncle having 7 and 8 bedroom houses. They first super big house. Letting us come and spend the summer with them. You know what I'm saying? And I was the last child in my grandmother's house. So I kept spending the summers with my auntie and uncle. My grandma know when Big Jerry get off work at night, I'm sitting on the stairs. I'm waiting for him to come and get their mail. They still come to the house, 2-story house me and my grandma in, because it's the house that my auntie and uncle own. So once they moved out and moved to the suburbs in Cordova, they let my grandma and us rent their 2-story house so we could be in the better neighborhood out there in East Memphis. And we could get the better education going to Wooddale High instead of going to Sheffield High in the poverty area that we was living in. And I would sit at the store. I get my backpack. I fill it up with clothes and my toys or my CDs and stuff. And I sit at the top of the stairs. And when my uncle come and get that mail, just got off work. I'm like, Big Jerry, can I go with y'all and spend the week over there? Grandma said, I have to ask you. And he'll be like, yeah, come on. And he'll call my auntie and let her know, hey, Mario coming. And he gonna spend the week over there with us, Lil Gerald and Aisha. And me and my cousins, Lil Gerald and Aisha, we formed a relationship to where they was my brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters was really no longer my brothers and sisters because they wasn't around. They didn't want to be around. You know what I'm saying? So I want to be there for my auntie and my uncle and my big cousin and my little cousin for what they gave me in life. And they still here. Grandma ain't here no more, but I'm going to live through grandma, right? And I'm going to represent grandma. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep her name alive. Rest in peace, Miss Minnie B. Piggies.
You know, and child abuse too as well. For those things to be associated with them, you know that they've been in cahoots, they've been knowing what's going on. They say that they have evidence now showing that they actually took the baby's life. Now, I'm going to show y'all the original press conference where they were still looking for her.
Y'all come on in, like the video, subscribe to the channel.
Now, I've heard that the mother
police has ever killed
now
their
baby. The baby wasn't even in that area. So for somebody to be playing games with y'all right there in y'all face, helping you look, that's one of the worst things that I hate. Somebody that steal from you or did something to you, your stuff. And
they helped search for the baby,
a lot of us despise,
and they knew they had killed her a month earlier.
Kid
a
makes
month
it
prior.
1,000 times worse. But this is the original press conference with him saying what he had to say about the whole situation.
Has Kylie texted you back?
Right.
How was the math test?
Don't.
Alright, here you
I'm
go.
Marty Sawyer. I'm the sheriff of Aiken County. And behind me, you'll see South Carolina Patrol and several members of our senior command staff that are here with us today.
They ain't just got regular police out there. This is the chief, the sheriff's office there in Lakeland. He has the top U.S. Marshal's Office, FBI agents. These are the people that's standing behind him. That's why they get introduced like that. And they are the top individual of the party that helped find out this shit about the daughter, the 4-year-old daughter. The head guy of the U.S. Marshals team, they helped. The head guy of the FBI team, they helped. The head guy of the sheriff's office, they helped. The head guy of the police department, they helped. And they have the head guy of the, it's like a forest. They have like a forest police department. They're like, they have the head ranger out here in this press conference, and they're telling the evidence that they found that shows that Javeayah Harris, 4 years old, parents killed her.
Afternoon, Javeayah Harris is still missing, and we are working around the clock to find Javeayah and to bring her home.
Right.
As a parent and a grandparent of young children,
y'all, that's crazy. The chief of the sheriff department, reason why he just paused like that after he said the parents and the grandparents is because he just got emotional. He was finna tear up. No, Chris, can't get any Xanax.
This investigation hits close to home. We know
he got grandkids.
That this family is living a nightmare. And we are doing everything we can to bring Javeayah home. Talk a little bit about our initial call. At approximately 8:43 p.m. Tuesday night, 911 dispatch received a call about a 4-year-old missing girl in the area of Hillsborough Street and Ridgecrest Road here in Aiken County.
Yeah.
Deputies quickly got a detailed description of Javeayah. The sheriff's office shared her picture with the public and the media. We immediately began searching for Javeayah.
Right.
We'll go over a few of our investigative steps.
They haven't found her. At this point, they hadn't found her yet.
Of the massive efforts going into this search, Law enforcement set up a roadblock in her neighborhood immediately. We continue them.
They had a roadblock
nonstop. They're still going as we speak, and we'll go
for
a few more days.
already for half a week,
Because
3-4
Javeayah
days.
is the most important thing.
They done had a roadblock in her neighborhood because they're still investigating in her neighborhood.
Talking to some potential witnesses that didn't know they were
because they really searching for it. They really like, no, she's a 4-year-old. She can't protect herself. We gotta find her.
We've been talking with neighbors. We've completed a grid search of more than 3,000 acres on foot. We've been supported in that by helicopter.
They said they've been talking to neighbors. So most likely once they started talking to neighbors and neighbors were saying when they did come outside, they never saw her or her mom watching her and they hadn't seen her for a while, like leaving the house with the parents or anything. They started to, they actually said, okay. So to make sure, before we rule out the parents, let's do one more search. Let's do the biggest search we can, which was over 3,000 acres. They walked through forests, trees, fields, looking for this girl. And then I believe they started their investigation on the parents because, like he said, we talked to the neighbors, and he said it real stern, and he paused for a minute. And he moved on to say, we completed a search for over 3,000 acres, an extensive search. They do another one.
Helicopters, drones, and dogs.
With people, drones, and dogs.
The FBI is on with analytical data, and they have trained personnel on the ground who specializes in investigating missing children cases.
Okay.
There are close to 200 law enforcement officers and first responders within this area searching for Javeayah to bring her home, and we are not giving up. As of today, we have digital billboards that we put up seeking the public's assistance. And here's what we ask from the citizens of Aiken. We want to thank you for the tips that you provided us, and we encourage you to continue calling us with those tips.
Citizens of Aiken County, we want to thank you for the tips, right? These tips are tips that they haven't seen the little girl for a minute, right? So the investigation that at this moment, when they haven't found Javeayah, the investigation that they're telling us about, that they've already have, and they're already doing, that they're currently on, the tips that's coming in, and that they spoke to the neighbors, everybody's saying they haven't seen the girl. She's a beautiful little baby, only 4 years old. When you see a girl, or if this little girl is outside, just like any little girl, when my girls go outside, and they still babies, even though they 11 and 12, they are still babies. When they go outside and they start playing, even if they playing by themselves, if one of them outside, just say Faith, my 11-year-old, just say she's outside. If she's outside, she's running around, screaming, she's doing cartwheels. Neighbors are going to look outside because they hear her. Ain't no baby going to go outside and play and be that young and not scream, because they having so much fun, running through the yard, acting like an airplane. Ah! Whoa! Mom, did you see that? And she didn't do nothing but jump from the driveway concrete onto the grass. It wasn't even a big jump. She's a baby. Yeah! The neighbor's like, I haven't seen her I usually see her, but I don't think I've seen her for a couple of weeks now. I've been seeing the parents leave, and they haven't been leaving with her. And then they calling in tips. We haven't seen her. No, have you seen her lately? No, sir, we haven't seen her lately. I remember about a month ago, I had my kids at the big arcade main event, and we saw them there. And found out that they stayed in our neighborhood, but we haven't seen her since then. But we've seen them. What? Okay.
A tip line number that you can call is 803-502-5200. Also, earlier today, we announced that we've set up a website for the public to provide surveillance video, and that's available on our Facebook page. We've gone to a lot of homes and businesses that have cameras, and we want to ensure you that we will capture any and every image that may be valuable to our investigation. We know many of you want to help. Here's what you can do.
Yeah.
First off, pray.
Pray.
Be vigilant.
This the chief saying this. Know many of you want to help. This is what you can do. First off, pray. That's the first thing. He tell us citizens and people of America, if we want to help, even if we far away, look, pray. Just pray in this baby girl. That's what the chief asks us to do. First thing, if you want to help and you're looking at this and you're seeing us, first thing you can do is pray. God-fearing man.
Search your own properties anywhere that you think a small child might hide.
Okay.
We're not asking for the public's help with our search as of yet. We're trained personnel and assets that know the procedures to conduct logistical searches. You have Javeayah's picture. Share that picture far and wide. Also share our social media posts.
Yeah.
And again, finally, please pray for Javeayah. Pray for her family. Pray for each law enforcement officer that's out here in this heat, working to find her. And pray for our entire community.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code. This is big.
He just said, pray for us 1,000 times. That's how you know it hit home, because this man, you can tell by, he has gray and white hair. White. You know what I'm saying? He's an older man, God-fearing man, and you can tell it hits because he's getting emotional during this press conference and having to pause to stop from crying. So you can tell it hits close to home because he probably has grandkids or a granddaughter her age, around 4 years old, 3, 4, 5 years old.
I'm going to take a few questions, but please keep in mind, we are not able to share every detail, and we may not have the answer to every question you have right now. Any questions?
Yeah, those searches in this area specifically, I know a lot of the search is right here. I'm wondering why that is, and if you think that she's still in this area.
Well, the reason it's here is because this is the area she left from. There's no other details to tell us that Javeayah went anywhere else other than here.
This morning you got 7.
That's what I said. Baby, she's 4 years old. If she wandered off, she didn't wander off far. Right after so long of searching for her, and they don't come up with her body, or don't come up on a situation where somebody might be holding her hostage, or all the sexual offenders that live in that area, they come to their houses and search their houses, have search warrants from a judge because a 4-year-old is missing. in the neighborhood they stay in. They record gives them warrant to be able to come in and search, right? And they don't see her nowhere, then she had to be taken out of the county. She has to be already gone. Or somebody killed her and got rid of her body outside of the county.
Well, right now the information we have is that she wandered away on her own.
How has the heated community in the past 2 days impacted the search?
Well, as you can see, a couple of these guys are pouring sweat. It's hot. We're keeping them hydrated. But our primary focus is bringing Javeayah home. It don't matter how hot it is. We're here so we do that.
Come on now.
Sheriff just said you covered over 3,000 acres in your search. Are you asking the question now, you searched such a broad area, you have not found her. What is next in this case? Ongoing investigation running secondary to the search?
Well, this is still a search. Obviously, we have FBI, SLED, and some of our investigators following up on other questions and other leads, but we have nothing right now that takes us away from a search in this area.
Have you already gotten videos or photos from the public on that tip line?
Ask me again?
Have you already gotten any photos or videos through that tip line?
As far as the tip line goes, I don't know. I didn't check on that. We've got plenty of video and some tip stuff. There's requirements, specific requirements through SLED that you have to meet for an Amber Alert. You have to know they've been abducted. You have to have a suspect or a vehicle. We have none of that. This is a missing child case as of right now.
Right.
Quick question. Personally, as a part of this community, I know so many people out there searching. Our parents, uncles, cousins, children. What is this like personally? The answer out there.
Most everybody out here searching has some have grandchildren. And whether they do or they don't, our job is to protect the citizens of this county.
Right.
Young, middle-aged, old. And we're not giving up until we have answers, until we bring Javeayah home. So, I'm asking for patience and understanding.
Okay.
Our priority, as I've already said, is to find Javeayah and bring her home to her family and to this community. As with other similar investigations, we cannot release every detail that we know. There's a lot of questions, a lot of rumors about Javeayah's disappearance. Please only share the information that the Sheriff's Department provides, because that's the most accurate and up-to-date information. Sharing this information could negatively affect our investigation. Don't be responsible for directing our focus
on the wrong thing,
away from where it needs to be, which is bringing Javeayah home. We all want to find Javeayah and bring her back to her family and our community.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, now that you heard that, you can see that they really probably already knew, but they were just playing it cool, you know. But the father...
That's what I said. I said the same thing that Carter's just said. They already knew, but they didn't want to give that information out. They wanted to still thoroughly investigate, but they wanted the parents to think that they were still trying to search for her. They were searching for her, but it was just a distraction because they did an investigation opened up on the parents because they already searched 3,000 acres of the county in the area, in the perimeter of the area that she went missing in, supposedly, and they never found her. They had dogs, they had drones, and they had the best of the best detectives, investigation guys out there.
Basically, with him doing the interview, basically just seal their fate, because they're gonna go back, look at everything, and watch how manipulated
Y'all come on in, come on in.
listening to them and shit in the beginning. They're gonna make an example out of them for sure. I'm pretty sure they got text messages and stuff like that, but they are somewhere else looking, and they don't want nobody else to go out there and be involved with the search or messing with the crime scene, quote unquote, allegedly. And I just wanted to say, man, it's just sad and unfortunate. RIP to that baby. You know, these beautiful kids keep on going out this way, and I can't stand that. You know, I feel like that if you can't handle your kids, just do what's best for them, not what's best for you. And that's not even what's best for you. You just trying to get whatever you got going on.
I'd rather you put them up for adoption.
You trying to get that out
let
on
somebody
them,
else
crazy to me.
wants
But this is what they
kid.
had to say last about the whole situation. This is the rest of the press conference. Once they give us updates and mug shots and stuff like that, I possibly will be doing another video about this. So if y'all want more of it, just let me know and I'll bring it to y'all. Other than that, I'm gonna holler at y'all later on another video and in the comment section of this video right here as well. It's just sad, man. RIP to that baby. I'll holler at y'all in the comments.
Okay.
Management platform is.
Now here you go.
Here's 3 new AI-powered changes to
after
Monday
they
Fi-
arrested the parents. Now they've arrested the parents. Now, the chief of the sheriff department, along with the FBI, the director of the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, and their state troopers department is throwing a press conference, and now they're gonna let you know what they were investigating, what the second investigation was about on the parents, and that they've arrested the parents for their daughter's death. And they're gonna let us know that they found out that the daughter died, Javeayah Harris, Princess Javeayah Harris, 4 years old. She died from abuse, which means they had to be hitting on her, which means she suffered and she hurt and she was in pain. Rest in peace to Javeayah Harris, only 4 years old. And my condolences go out to her family that's finna have to put her to rest.
Our search for Javeayah drives on. We are continuing to put massive law enforcement resources.
Oh, yeah, they found out that the parents killed Javeayah, but they hadn't found her body yet, but they figured out the area that they have to search, which they're finna start a search in that area after arresting her parents and pinging their cell phones and finding out that they went to an area, I believe, outside of their county or 2 counties away from their county, where there wasn't any, not civilization, but there wasn't, in that area, it was just trees and forests. It wasn't an area that people visit. It wasn't a park, a state park or anything like that. So they knew, even though the parents didn't confess and they arrested the parents for her murder, they knew from cell phone pings and their cell phone records that the parents were in this area a little bit over a month prior to them reporting on June 28th, just last month on June 28th, that their daughter was missing. They were in this area. That's the only area that they've been outside of the county within the last 6 months, right? So now they're letting you know that they're arresting the parents in this press conference and the area that they have to search, but they're not telling us the area because they don't want the public or citizens to interfere or contaminate what could possibly be a part of their evidence. What could possibly be an area that evidence is whether she had blood leakage through the grass or whatever. They don't want anyone to contaminate it, and they don't want media outlets and news channels in the area that that they're going to, where they're going to do this search to be able to find her body, because they know that's where the body is. And I don't think the parents told them when they asked, but they pinged the cell phones, and that's a piece of evidence, and they said, we know you were in this area. The mother, I don't think the father said anything. I think he stood there like the criminal, like the murderer he is, without a soul, lying in the interview over the phone. I think he sat there and he didn't give them anything. But the mother, they broke her down. She probably started crying and said, yeah, that's the area where we put her body. Where was the area? Where in this area? I don't know. I just know we went into the woods. We were far from the field. We walked pretty far, and we just analyzing. You know what I'm saying? She didn't say that word for word, but we know if they broke her, she was crying and she gave up. Yes, we did go to that area. We know you both were in this area. This is the only place you went out of the county, and it was a month or so prior to when you called us just last week on June 28th and reported her missing. She was already dead, wasn't she? Yes. And who killed her? We beat her. And then we buried the body. He beat her. He beat her. And she didn't wake up. I couldn't wake her up. He told me we gotta get rid of her body. On some shit like that. Yeah, he an abusive ass motherfucking 23-year-old. Look at his mugshot. His mugshot is floating through YouTube. You're going to see somebody who did a small video or said something about it, or a news channel, they got both of the parents' mugshots. For my thumbnail, I got Princess Javeayah Harris pictures. Because that's what she was. She was a princess. She didn't deserve what she got.
To work.
She didn't deserve to die by her own parents' hands. She didn't even deserve to die at 4 years old. When a baby is anywhere from infant to 6 years old, they don't really deserve to be punished when they do wrong. Yeah, they playing with their toys, playing. You can take a toy away from them and say, no toys. You watch TV with mama. You watch TV with dad now. And they might cry, and you're going to hold them and rock them and say, it's okay. You're on punishment. You can't do that. You can't go in that cabinet. That's where the chemicals are. So you're not going to play with your toys right now because you want to play with them right now. You don't really whoop them like you will whoop an older child for doing something wrong because they can understand and comprehend. Yeah, that's a baby. She didn't deserve that. Y'all like the video? Subscribe to the channel, please. Love y'all.
To recover Javeayah and bring her home. We all hoped and prayed to find her alive. But it's extremely important to bring her home to her family, and it's important to bring her home for us. We are currently searching an area of interest right now, not in Aiken County.
Area interest, not in Aiken County. That's where they at. They in Aiken County. See, I told you they drove her body outside of the county or 2 counties away, and they ditched the body in some woods. And that's the area that they searching now after they done arrested the parents, because they done found out that the parents killed her, found out where they ditched the body at after questioning him and the mother. We can tell from his mugshot that's floating over the internet, he's abusive. He abuses the mother and he abuses the daughter. And the mother allows it because she don't want to get punched in the face. That's why she got to go down for murder. Yeah, she life too, or the death penalty also. Both of them deserve the death penalty. Yeah, you gonna allow him to beat on you, but when he beats on y'all daughter, you and his daughter, only 4 years old, he's a grown ass man. Cause she running around crying or yelling or throwing a little fit or whatever like baby girls do, like princesses do. He slap her like she a grown ass woman or slap her like she a grown ass man. Nigga, you not supposed to put your hands on the woman. But you treat this baby girl, your daughter, your woman's daughter, you treat her like you treat her mother, your woman. You beat on both of them. Yeah, she should have told somebody. She should have went to the police department with her daughter and said, he beats on both of us. Baby girl could have probably been had internal bleeding. And nobody even knew. Because the bruise on the outside of her on the outside of her body, on her flesh, went away. But the scar on the inside didn't. This shit's crazy.
I am not disclosing
Give them life.
where that's at. But I'm sure you understand, if in fact Javeayah's body is where we think it is, it's going to be a difficult time for everybody there. And we don't need anybody from the outside of law enforcement,
right,
trying to access that area.
The media, public. They don't need
Today
us
I'm announcing that we have arrested Javeayah's parents.
Arrested their ass.
We've arrested her dad, 23-year-old
That was
Javeayah
on
Harris,
the 4th of July.
and 22-year-old Michelle Herring for homicide by child abuse and filing a false police report. Additional charges may be forthcoming. We'll figure that out as the investigation.
I told y'all, they gotta find her body. They gotta find her body and do the search of the area that they know the parents was in, right, after arresting them, because the evidence might show more. You know what I'm saying? If she was abused, not just this time, they killed her, but if she was abused multiple times, like, they'll get more charges added on, so they don't make it out of trial not guilty, right? But they got them arrested. They're gonna be sitting in jail for a minute before they even get a court date. You know what I'm saying? They might get a court date next month or 2 months from now, and we'll cover that. But these folks don't deserve to live. They said that they names, I hope y'all heard them. I can't remember. Because like I said, I don't care about names. I don't want to know their names. They some fucking nobodies for killing 4-year-old Javeayah Harris.
Investigation goes further. We have spoken to Javeayah's extended family, and we'd ask that you respect their privacy.
Yeah.
We can only imagine what they're going through. We put every resource available to find Javeayah and to bring her home safely. I want you to pay close attention to these next 2 sentences. This is very important.
Very important, y'all.
Sadly, the night of the 911 call on June the 30th, when that call was made,
my bad. They didn't call on June the 28th. They called on June the 30th. June the 30th. What day was that? That was Monday. Give me a second, y'all. Saturday, 4. Yeah. They called and reported her missing Monday. The first press conference that you heard when they was doing the search and had searched over 3,000 acres in the area, and they was talking to one of the media guys that was asking a question. That was 4 days ago now. Yeah, because this was on July the 4th, basically yesterday, that they arrested her parents. So they called at the beginning of the week. The dad took that phone interview with Law and Crime on Friday, July the 3rd. After he took that phone interview, July 4th, they came and got both of them. Yeah, it was holes all through the interview.
It was already too late to save Javeayah. At this time, our investigation supports that she had been deceased for at least a month.
Okay. So their investigation supports they hadn't found the body yet to tell them how long for the coroner. So that was my mistake. I said that they found the body of the girl through this investigation, and the coroner probably told them that she had been deceased for over a month. But no, they said the chief of the sheriff's department just said that their investigation led them to find out after the call on June the 30th from the mother saying that she was missing. Their investigation led them to find out that she had already been deceased for over a month. So that means when they questioned the mother, how we said that they both basically broke her. They didn't break the dad, but they broke her, and she started crying and telling everything. That's what he's talking about. From their investigation, they found out, which is facts, which is truth, because it's coming from her mother, one of her killers, right? That she had already been dead more than a month before she made the call.
I want to express my sincere gratitude to every law enforcement agency, local, state, and federal, and all of our volunteer fire departments in Aiken County, who stood alongside us this whole journey for the past 3 or 4 days in this heat and long hours.
Welcome to Iron Beam, the future of futures trading, with our cutting-edge chart trading feature.
There's too many agencies to name, but I am going to name a few that played the key role and supported the Aiken County Sheriff's Office in this operation.
FBI help.
Special Agent in charge, Kevin Moore with the FBI Field Office in Columbia. You'll hear from him in just a minute. Major Patterson with the South Carolina Highway Patrol.
Columbia,
Chief Kill
South Carolina.
with the State Law Enforcement Division. Sheriff Rowland with the Edgefield County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Kuhn with the Lexington County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff Boone with the Kershaw County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Gino Brantley with the Richmond County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, CJ, that's where this is. If you wasn't asking where I'm at, what city I'm in, when I said Memphis, if you was asking what city this is in Columbia, South Carolina.
And Chief Baranko and Johnson with the Aiken and North Augusta Department of Public Safety. A big thank you goes out to Paul Matthews and Aiken County Emergency Management, who opened this EOC for us at 4:30 Wednesday morning. And it's been manned ever since then. Aiken County EMS, Lexington County Fire Service, and for all the other sheriffs that's called me this week, offering support.
Yeah. If y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, please.
Or equipment, whatever we need. The professionalism, cooperation, and dedication demonstrated by everyone is nothing short of exceptional. Every agency brought valuable resources, specialized expertise, but most of all, an unwavering commitment to bring Javeayah home. Also, I want to thank you, the media, for covering our investigation, for helping spread Javeayah's picture to our community,
yeah,
and hopes of locating her.
You're welcome.
And finally, I want to thank our community from the encouragement, patience, prayers, and support. All that means more to us as law enforcement and first responders than you'll ever know.
Yeah.
We received an overwhelming amount of support through shared information, donations of food and water, and countless acts of kindness that reminds us why we're so proud to serve the citizens of Aiken County. I'd like to especially say thank you to Bethel Baptist Church, who's right around the corner from where this started. They opened their doors to us.
Shout out
They
Bethel
provided
Baptist
food,
Church
water, restrooms,
out there in Columbia,
and
South
probably most
Carolina.
importantly, air conditioning for those guys who are out in the woods searching. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Special Agent in Charge Kevin Moore.
Special Agent Kevin Moore over there.
Good morning.
FBI.
I'm Kevin Moore, Special Agent in Charge of the
From the
FBI's
FBI.
Columbia Field Office. And today, a family and this community are hurting from this tragedy, the loss of a 4-year-old Javeayah. We want to offer our sincerest condolences to Javeayah's loved ones and to this community. The men and women of the FBI have been here in Aiken County since the beginning, working alongside the Sheriff's Office and our law enforcement partners. With the information we had at the time, we put every available resource into finding Javeayah.
Yeah.
That included dozens of FBI personnel who were part of the searches, the neighborhood canvases, the digital media review, and interviews. We also had members of the FBI's behavioral abduction rapid deployment team and our technical experts involved.
Ooh.
Whenever a child goes missing, it's a joint effort to find them, and the FBI works hand in glove to assist law enforcement agencies in doing it.
I want to thank the Sheriff's Department out there in Columbia, South Carolina. I want to thank the FBI of Columbia, South Carolina. I want to thank the state troopers out there in Columbia, South Carolina. I want to thank the U.S. Marshal's Office, their joint forces, with all police departments and special agents and shit out there in Columbia, South Carolina. And I want to thank the police department of Columbia, South Carolina. along with the Sheriff's Department, if I didn't say the Sheriff's Department of Columbia, South Carolina, because the chief of Columbia, South Carolina Sheriff's Department is the one who led the investigation. He's the one that we heard speak before we're hearing a special agent such and such speak right now. Sorry that I forgot your name that quick. So I said special agent such and such, but he's the lead over the FBI group that was dispatched to investigate and help find Javeayah Harris, only 4 years old. So we want to thank them. Me and my chat analysts, we want to thank them for their efforts. And we want them to find them.
So, it's heartbreaking that we are not standing here with better news. We want to thank the community for all the support, for the tips, and for showing compassion in trying to locate Javeayah. Thank you to our law enforcement partners. It's truly one team. Now, we are all focused on pursuing justice for Javeayah, because that's what she deserves.
It's all right.
Thank you, Sheriff.
He's kind of nervous.
Thank you, sir. Now I'm going to take a few questions, but understand, this is still an active investigation, and we are working as we speak and we stand here. So the answers may be limited, or I may tell you I'm just not going to answer that question.
So we ended with the questions.
When did this investigation change from a search to a recovery? I know that we heard from you earlier this week about it being a missing person search. So where did that change and how did that change?
Well, if you remember correctly, when I said that, I also said that there was another team doing an investigation off-site from out there here. After a certain amount of time,
the FBI.
When we don't find somebody in a neighborhood that's supposedly walked off.
I said it. I just analyzed this shit. I said they did a search of 3,000 acres. That was the last search that they had did before he held their first press conference. Right? So I said they said to themselves when they heard the father take their interview yesterday, they said, let's do one more search. Let's do one more search before we rule out that she really went missing and start investigating the parents thoroughly, because this interview that he just took, the father just took, he's making plenty of holes in his story. And he could be just nervous and discombobulated. His daughter that went missing, you know what I'm saying? And she's been missing for a while now. Almost a full week as far as they know. As far as we know. She's been missing for almost a full week. Really, she had been missing for more than a month, right? Before we stop giving the parents the benefit of the doubt, let's do one more search. Let's do the whole county, 3,000 acres of forest. Let's do it. Let's do it. We walk all the forest, and we can cover it in a day, you know, because they're not going to walk the whole forest, really. They're going to walk as far as they can take the drones, right? And they're going to walk as far, the ones that's with the K9 unit is going to walk further because the dogs might catch a scent. They're going to see how far they can walk before the dogs catch a scent. If they walk so far from the actual search party, so many miles with the dogs, and they still don't catch a scent, they're going to stop the dogs. But the search party is going to walk as far as they need to give the drones enough range to travel to the very ends of the 3,000 He said they searched 3,000 acres. Humans, regular people of the search party, canines, and drones.
I don't want to get behind the 8 ball. The FBI was called quickly. They can always go back home, but I want them here as soon as we could get them. So to give you an exact point, I can't do that. The search team was doing their job. The team here was doing their job, and when we figured out she wasn't there anymore, is when we backed everybody out and focused on this.
Right. So that's when they backed everybody out and focused on the parents.
Share how that was determined?
No, ma'am.
You wouldn't ride a horse.
He can't give that information.
So why are you using dated, slow tools for your business?
She said, when you figured out that she wasn't there and you started focusing on the parents, can you share that information? He said, no, ma'am. No, they can't let you know what led them to focusing on the parents. I can, though. The interview the dad took. It put too many holes in his story. And it wasn't the same story that he gave to the damn police officers. He probably never even went and got candy. Or when they went to the police officer that was on, they questioned every police officer that was on the scene when they found out that she was missing. They said, look, he said in an interview that he went to get candy, some such and such, and a couple of drinks like Mad Dogs, like a Mad Dog and the fucking Steel Reserve or some shit like that, which was beers and liquor, right? So they said, did you see him come back? When he came to the house, did you see him come with a bag? He probably never even went to get that shit. He probably didn't even come with a bag. Or he probably had a bag, but he didn't even have no candy in it. He just had liquor in it. And when he got there and he found out and shit, he still opened that liquor, or bust open a can of beer or some shit like that. And the officers, or one of the officers that recognized it or that saw him with the bag, saw it wasn't no candy, it was just alcohol in there. And he bust open a can of beer. They could have told the detectives or the FBI that, the uniformed officers that was at the house, when he said he came around the corner, his girl had called, his girl called the police, right, and said that their daughter was missing. But he came around the corner, he didn't know what happened. But he knew his girl was pregnant. He rushed to the house when he seen the big police presence because he saw that it was at his house. And he came up. When he came up, his girl was crying and said, Javeayah is missing. But he didn't cry. Or he wasn't emotional when he was telling this. Man, my daughter is freshly missing. She just went missing. Right? Nah, I didn't cut off my dreads. I just got them tied up. I just had them tied up. Thanks for asking, though. Y'all make sure y'all like the video and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, but when they detectives and the FBI heard him say that, because they listening to everything. That's why he said, we figured out that the parents had something to do with her death. We've arrested the parents. We want to thank the media outlets for all the coverage that they took over this, which means that the coverage that the media outlets took over this was following the press conferences. The only other coverage the media took over this was when Law and Crime or Inside Edition interviewed the dad. That's the only other media coverage that was taking over this besides all media channels and news outlets that was following the press conferences that it was doing. So when the sheriff say, the chief of the sheriff department say, we want to thank all the media outlets, that's how we know where they got the information from. Not exactly from a media outlet, but from listening and following the media outlets that were following the story. Because one of them decided to give the dad an interview, which they saw it was holes in this story from what he told the detectives already, and they knew that they need to get a team to investigate him and the mother possibly.
All right, thank you again.
Yep. For sure.
We'll have further updates.
Shout out my guy Jer. He thought I had cut my dreads. I had to let him down to show him. I just had him tied up in the back. He said, I got you. He tripping over there. Love you, brother. Appreciate your support.
They come either by another press conference or a press release. Thank you.
So they're going to have another press conference and release till they find the body. So is that the end of it? No. Okay, that was the end of it. Yeah, man. So I believe that they're gonna find the body. I don't know what kind of her body is gonna be in because it's in a wooded area. And they didn't dig a hole or anything. They just dumped her body. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, coyotes, wolves, shit like that. The wildlife, they live in woods and shit. Ain't no that little girl body so far, you know, and she's been deceased for over a month. It's horrible, y'all. But I want to know what y'all think. So anybody that's watching this, I want y'all to comment down below what y'all think. Do y'all think the parents should get life like I think, or y'all think they should get death like I really think? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what this is. This is Blocstarr Imis Analytics. You know what we are. We are Blocstarr Analysts. What did we just do? We just analyzed the fuck out of that shit. Rest in peace to Princess Javeayah Harris. I love you, chat. Thank you, chat, for your support. Don't forget to like the video, comment down below, and subscribe to become a part of the family. Yeah, because that's what we are here. We are family. Listen, man, you've been chilling with yours truly. It's Blocstarr Imis, all the way from Memphis. Don't you forget me. I love you, chat. We out this motherfucker.